Welcome to this month's Parenting PDA Support Group for parents and caregivers of neurodiverse children with a pathological demand avoidance profile. We're hosted by children and adults with ADHD of Greater Los Angeles and PDA North America. I'm Suzanne, today's facilitator. I'm a neurodivergent adult raising a neurodivergent kiddo. I'm joined by my co-facilitator, Katie. Katie and I are both raising sons with PDA. We came together through a shared desire to find support as parents and wanted to bring that gift of feeling seen and less alone to other parents. Parenting a child with a PDA profile challenges every aspect of our lives. This group is intended to be a safe space for us to educate ourselves about our child's neurodiversity and freely discuss our parenting difficulties and our wins. Many of us arrived because we were at the end of our ropes, struggling and feeling alone as we navigated parenting our high-needs children. Together, we've created a community of parents who understand one another's struggles. We're so glad you're here. If you're new, please let us know in the chat so we can all welcome you. Today's group is just a part of our work to educate, support, and advocate for adults and children living with ADHD, autism, and PDA. We also host online support groups for adults with ADHD and addiction issues, young women with ADHD, and parents of ADHD children, as well as weekly meetups for body doubling and co-working and a journaling and meditation group. We also host a private Discord chat community. You can ask for the link to join in the chat. You'll find all of our upcoming events listed over in our meetup community. All our events are facilitated by our team of volunteers, and all our work is funded by your donations. It's our mission to ensure that ADHD education and neurodiversity education and peer support are accessible to everyone regardless of financial constraints. While there's no fee to attend our events, as a nonprofit, we rely on donations and membership fees. So if you resonate with our cause and can contribute, consider a $10 or $15 donation. You can find the link in the chat or use the QR code on the screen. You can also visit our website to learn more about becoming a member. Here are a few guidelines to help you get the most out of the meeting. To let us know you'd like to speak, use Zoom's raise hand feature. Generally, we'll call on people in the order that hands were raised. Please keep yourself muted until you've been called on. Use the chat feature at any time throughout the meeting. It's encouraged, and it's a great way to get to know other members and share your thoughts, questions, and resources with other attendees. Please just keep your chat respectful and ask consent before direct messaging other attendees. What is said here, let it stay here. We ask that you respect the confidentiality of who attends and what is shared in group. If you're quiet, we encourage you to step up and contribute. If you speak a lot, consider taking a step back. No one person should monopolize the group. Respect and support one another. That's why we're here. It's everyone's responsibility to make the group a safe place. When you have the urge to give advice, please remember to speak from your own experience about your own truths using I statements, like I feel or in my experience, rather than telling others what you think they should do. Lastly, it's a-okay not to speak. You absolutely don't have to speak if you don't wish to. So much can be gained just by listening. Before we dive into our support group, we'd like to share a few key features of pathological demand avoidance to ensure we're all on the same page for our discussion. As if parenting our complex children wasn't confusing enough, PDA can present with ADHD, autism, and giftedness, or none of the above. For the purposes of our group, we aren't going to get hung up on any rigid guidelines for who can have PDA. Rather, we're going to focus on the PDA itself, how it impacts our children and our families, and how we can support our children and ourselves. PDA has a much higher prevalence in the neurodivergent community, so understanding these characteristics can help us better support our neurodivergent children who exhibit these traits. So, first, individuals with PDA exhibit extreme resistance to demands. This resistance goes beyond typical defiance and can include vehemently resisting instructions, routines, or even casual suggestions. Their nervous system perceives these demands as controlling or threatening, which can manifest in arguments, tantrums, negotiation, or simply refusing to comply. Second, those with PDA often possess unique social skills and strategies. They are highly skilled at navigating situations to avoid demands. So this might involve using charm, humor, or even appearing helpless to divert attention from the demand placed on them. These strategies are not about manipulation, but about coping with the anxiety that the demands create. Third, craving control and autonomy is paramount for individuals with PDA. They might create their own rules, insist on specific routines, or have a hard time dealing with unexpected changes. This behavior can sometimes be perceived as bossiness, but it's actually an attempt to control their environment and reduce their anxiety. So it's important to recognize that these behaviors stem from a need for predictability and security. Fourth, emotional sensitivity is a significant feature of PDA. Individuals are often highly sensitive to emotions and can become easily overwhelmed by stressful situations. This sensitivity can lead to intense emotional responses, such as meltdowns and shutdowns. Understanding this sensitivity can help us provide the emotional support that our kiddos need. Recognizing these features can help us develop more effective strategies to support our children with PDA. It's important to approach these behaviors with empathy and seek professional guidance when necessary. By understanding and supporting our children's unique needs, we can help them thrive. We realize some of you might just be starting to explore PDA and wondering if it relates to your child. So let's look at some of the signs you might notice in your child if they have a PDA profile. First, you may observe a strong avoidance of everyday demands. This can go beyond typical reluctance and manifest into a consistent pattern of avoiding routine tasks like getting dressed, completing homework, handling personal hygiene, or even participating in family activities. Second, children with PDA often use social strategies to avoid demands. So as we talked about previously, these can include distraction, negotiation, pretending to be helpless, or making excuses. They might be exceptionally skilled at these tactics, which can sometimes be misinterpreted as defiance, stubbornness, or manipulation. Another sign is what we call surface sociability. Your child may seem very sociable on the surface, appearing friendly and engaging, but they may struggle with deeper social connections and understanding. They may find it challenging to engage in reciprocal social interactions. Intense emotional responses are also common. These aren't just typical mood swings. They can be rapid and extreme reactions that seem out of proportion to the situation. In our house, we call it having an unexpected reaction to a problem. This can be very challenging for our children and for us. Children with PDA often develop intense, almost obsessive interests. These interests provide a sense of safety in an uncertain world and can become a major focus in their lives, often serving as a way to avoid demands or gain a sense of control over their environment. So unlike a typical hobby or a strong preference, these interests can consume their attention so thoroughly that other activities and responsibilities are often neglected. It's important to recognize these interests as not just obsessions, but as coping mechanisms that help our children manage anxiety and maintain a sense of control in their lives. Role-playing and fantasy are also preferred by many children with PDA. They may enjoy engaging in imaginative play where they have control over the narrative, which provides a sense of comfort and safety. Finally, in general, controlling behavior is a key characteristic of PDA. Your child might try to control situations and people around them as a way to manage their anxiety. This behavior isn't about being bossy, but rather about feeling secure and reducing their stress. I also want to mention that unlike oppositional defiant disorder, PDA is not characterized solely by a persistent pattern of angry or irritable mood, argumentative defiant behavior, or vindictiveness. Instead, PDA involves an extreme avoidance of everyday demands and a need to control situations to manage anxiety. Very often, Individuals with PDA carry a lot of shame and a lot of negative self-talk because they're unable to meet the demands placed on them by others and by themselves, even when they desperately want to. The last thing I want to share is that there are different types of avoidant behavior, and just because our children have a PDA profile doesn't mean they will always be avoiding due to their PDA. Understanding the why of their avoidance can be an important first step to determining how you'll handle each situation. So each of these can be uniquely different, and each of them can present different opportunities to try ways to manage this with our children. For those of you who want to take a longer look at these slides, you can find them on YouTube and in our Discord group. Here's this afternoon's agenda so you have an idea of what to expect. For our first round, we'll share the topics we want to talk about during today's meeting. Each of you can share your name, location, and what topic you'd like to discuss. You can raise your hand to share aloud now, or you can type your topic into the chat. For those of you who raise your hands, you'll have 1 minute to talk when we call on you. Please do your best to keep your introduction brief, just your name, your location, and your topic. We'll gently remind you of time if you go longer. Once we get all your topics, we'll choose one and start our discussion. And during that portion, you'll have 3 to 5 minutes to share. Please try to keep your shares on topic and on time so we can get to as many people as possible. We're so glad that you're here.